My name is David Wilton. I'll be doing a speech on bankruptcy. Imagine that you live in a town where the schools are closing, the community centers don't feed the senior citizens anymore, the library's closed, teachers are being fired, and the mayor is asked to give his keys over. This is happening to a little town of Rhode Island right now, where they're in the hole. They have 19,000 people that live in a community that doesn't have any funding or anything like that, which is going on around with all the other communities and towns around America, which is also what our government is going through. President Obama's 2012 budget for this year has us in a national deficit of $1.645 trillion. This means that every dollar the Federal Reserve spends, the government spends, 43 cents of that is borrowed. 95% of revenues go towards Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and other various programs like welfare. Law enforcement, national defense, and transportation have to be borrowed. Now there's 4 different types of bankruptcies. First one is Chapter 7, which is the most popular. It's liquidation bankruptcy. Basically what they do is they take all your non-exempt assets, liquidize them, sell them, and pay your creditors off the best they can so you can get out of debt faster. Chapter 13 is used by businesses mostly because instead of liquidating your assets, you keep them and then you come up with a payment plan within 120 days of filing. And that's why most businesses do it, because they can still run their business with their machines and still pay back their deficit. Chapter 12 is used by farmers mainly because it's set up for them. This has their assets they get to keep, but they have to come up with a payment plan with the creditors. Chapter 13 is used by individuals instead of businesses because you get to keep your businesses, you keep your assets while trying to pay off your creditors by making a 3 to 5 year payment arrangement. Now from Forbes.com, I found some famous people that have filed bankruptcy. Donald Trump has filed 4 times, 91, 92, 2004, and 2009. Mainly over his casinos and hotels. He's used this to his advantage though. He has freed up capital, rearranged his payments to where he can get more payments in. And he also gets a lot of his loans through banks because banks want to be associated with Donald Trump because that's dollar signs to them. And he gets his name out. The other one I got from ESPN.com is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're going through Chapter 11 bankruptcy right now. The Major League Baseball has denied Fox Network and the Dodgers to make a TV deal. And with that money, it would have bridged the gap that the owner had. But since it was denied, they need to file Chapter 11. The court has approved a $150 million financial arrangement so that they can pay their players and their staff. McCord is accused of using $100 million of revenue for other things than he was supposed to. Now there's some myth about bankruptcies. First one is that you lose your house and your car. Depending on which bankruptcy or chapter bankruptcy you pick, depends on that. Chapter 7, you will lose your house and your car because you liquidated to sell and pay off your credit. Chapter 13 is that you get to keep your house and your car because you don't lose it, you just make a payment arrangement. You lose your retirement and 401k. These are considered exempt. You get to keep them so you have a retirement so you're not in debt the rest of your life. It ruins your credit. Chapter 7 will stay on your credit report for 10 years. Depending if you pay off all your credit beforehand or it should drop off sooner. Personal bankruptcy limitations. Before 2005, there were some limitations on when you could put in for bankruptcy and when you can. But after 2005, anyone can file for bankruptcy. And the last one is filing for more than one bankruptcy. If you file for Chapter 7, you cannot file for another Chapter 7 until 8 years. Now for Chapter 13, you can only file for Chapter 13 after you file 2 years prior. And a Chapter 7 is 4 years prior for Chapter 13. Thank you for listening.